For more on this story, we can bring in our international affairs editor, Angela Diffley. Angela, you heard there from Fraser saying that this is the fifth wave of attacks we've seen since that MOU was signed. Has this war resumed?
I don't think either side have really decided. Officially, the negotiations are still on track for Saturday in Islamabad, US negotiators and Iranian negotiators. Trump, of course, yesterday, when he called the Iranian team scum, etc., said, people can carry on negotiating if they want to, but I don't see it getting anywhere, and I wouldn't trust them if they did sign a deal. That's what he said yesterday. Who knows what he'll say tomorrow? But in terms of, is this war on or off? First of all, we should point out that, quite often when ceasefires are drawn up in wars, there are skirmishes, violations, and sometimes much bigger violations. And it doesn't mean it's all over. The war is, as we know, still very unpopular in the United States. They will not be pleased to see oil and gas prices up again. Trump doesn't seem to have a way around that. That said, the Gulf states, which have blown hot and cold on how aggressive the United States should be with Iran, it seems, they've been pushing European leaders and pushing China to try to exert further pressure on Iran. The Gulf states at the moment appear to be extremely unnerved by Iran's uncompromising position on Hormuz, and they appear at the moment to be favouring a stronger response to Iran. Within Iran as well, it's still unclear. Mohammad Khalibaf, who is leading the negotiations, appears still to think that the only way that Iran can have sanctions lifted is through a deal. That is clear. Trump, in fact, revoked the waiver on Iranian sanctions so that they could sell some oil. He revoked that earlier this week. Khalibaf is extremely worried about the economy. He's looking further ahead and thinks there is no way we can sort out our economy until we have some sort of deal with the United States. But again, set against that, you have many people within the Iranian Revolutionary Guard Corps, we understand, and that base of fervent supporters of the supreme leader who are up for continuing this war, and we're seeing Kill Trump placards at these demonstrations.
Speaking about these demonstrations, because the country is laying the former slain supreme leader to rest, who was killed by the US and Israel on day one of this war.
Yes, along with family members. This funeral, it is clear to everyone, has been staged, choreographed, organised in such a way as to try to project strength on the Iranians' behalf. It has been taken place in two countries, the processions. We've seen them in Najat and Karbala in Iraq, within Iran already, Tehran, Qom, and now today Mashhad. That's 5 cities, 2 countries. This massive show. The Iranians say it's the biggest mass funeral in history. You can't measure that sort of thing. But it certainly is quite a turnout. It is clear that people have been encouraged to turn out. Very many of the women we see in these crowds are burqa-clad. Many of them will be fervent supporters of the Iranian regime. Many of them will be there for other reasons. But it is clearly a projection of strength. There is some evidence as well that a lot of people are looking at this and concluding that we're seeing a shift now from a theocracy to a much more military nationalist Iran. What that will mean for ordinary Iranians, all of that is yet to emerge. And again, the economy underlies everything. Yeah. But there is apparently a shift. There are a lot of Iranian flags everywhere. The turban of Ayatollah Khamenei is, quite small compared to the sort of massive number of flags. It is the first time the new Iranian power the IGRC have been seen in public. They've been in hiding for quite a bit. This is the first time we've seen them in prominent positions at this funeral. That is important. And very noticeably, of course, Mojtaba Khamenei, his son, Mojtaba Khamenei, the son of the Supreme Leader, now the Supreme Leader, never seen since
Still
the
hiding.
strikes on all of his family, or much of his family. No videos, no pictures of him at all. There are people who say he's dead, others who say he is very, very severely incapacitated. We simply don't know. But there is no sign of him at the funerals at all.
Yeah.